So, as you all know, the G7 just took place in Alberta, Canada, and they discussed some pretty nonsensical things, let's put it that way. And one of the things that they were discussing was security and minerals and immigration. Let's talk about it. Well, critical minerals, no matter where you get them, no matter what you do with them, they're all produced, 93% of them are refined in China. Oh, we spoke about China there. As for security, if they discussed about security, why is it that the UK, United States, Canada, Italy have the highest crime rates right now? There is no security. There's people shooting people in Ontario as the G7 was happening. There was the biggest drug bust ever in Canada as the G7 was happening. So, what were they actually accomplishing is the question. And they didn't accomplish very much. Because not once in the communique that I was reading did they mention the BRICS nations. But not once did they mention the fact that China is leading in technology, is leading in critical minerals. Not once did they mention the fact that we all need to cooperate rather than fight each other, because Canada, United States, and the UK are all giving Ukraine more money, which means that they're in support of the war. They're not trying to de-escalate, they're trying to escalate. When you throw money at something, it means you're supporting it. It means that the power that you have in that stored energy is supporting that cause. The G7 was a complete sham and a waste of time. That's why Donald Trump left early. Yeah, you know why he left early? Because he was making provisions to go into Iran now. Iran was not mentioned in the G7. There's a conflict going on right now with 3,000 missiles that have been discharged from the Iranian regime, and it wasn't spoken about. So you wonder what we accomplished with all of this G7 might. And one of the things that I want to bring your attention to is that the G7 is a dinosaur, it's a relic. They didn't discuss the fact that, hey, they were declining power, all of them. You see, the BRICS nations, just with India and China, are 51% of the population of the earth. Let this sink in, because what they're not telling you is the fact that we are being left behind because of our lack of cooperation. You see, if our countries, if our heads, if our states can't cooperate, that sends a message that the people don't need to cooperate. And that's exactly what's happening in our major cities. Look at what's happening in LA. Look what's happening in Texas. But instead, we're focusing on completely nonsensical things like the Ukrainian war. This war has lasted for over 2.5, 3 years. And now it is costing everybody their livelihood. It's costing their quality of life. They're running out of bullets. I don't want to say anything more about this other than the fact that the United States and the G7 nations are completely on their way out, and nobody wants to discuss the fact or strategies on what happens to the people when their countries collapse. And I want you to really understand that. I want you to look around and I want you to tell me how many new industries are being produced, how many new factories are being created in your society, how many stores are opening, grand openings are happening. And if you can answer that with, oh, there's a lot, or business is really good, or our economy is flourishing, well, then your leaders are actually doing something. But if it's the opposite of that, it means that our leaders are failing us. What happens is when our leaders fail us, is that that means that they don't care about us. And when they stop caring, the people stop caring, and everybody stops caring. What's left? What is left? We've put the power in these leaders for way too long, and they have abused it. And if they keep abusing it, what's going to happen is the destruction of our civilization. I'm not here to scare you. I'm just here to inform you so that you're preparing for yourself and family. Because the G7 are not preparing for you. They are not doing anything to make your life better. They're making their life better. But you and I, we're the ones that left holding the bag. And that's my perspective. There you have it.